From weeds to wealth, do you want to make a change in your financial outlook? You may think you need to take drastic steps to achieve your goals, but those can be hard to stick to and lead to frustration. So Bruce is here with small changes that may surprise you and how well they work. And I love the idea of this, Bruce. What are we starting with?
Teeny tiny changes. They're tiny, 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 but they make a big, big impact. And we're going to start with a bit of a way to rethink budgeting. So this is one of the tips I got from my counselors. I crowdsourced this segment, and one of the tips was move to frequency-based budgeting from dollar-based budgeting. So dollars is I'm going to spend $200 per quarter, per month, or whatever it is on clothing. It's a hard calculation for our brains to do, to kind of add that all up. So instead you could say, I'm going to shop for clothes once a month, or I'm going to buy 2 books a month, or whatever the category is that you want to range spending on. Rather than try and calculate a total dollar, think about it in frequency terms, because that's a lot easier for our brain to work out.
That's a good suggestion. Okay, let's talk grocery shopping, which is something we are doing frequently. What can we change there?
Prepared foods. So people spend a lot of money on takeout, and some of those items are available in the grocery store for a holy heck of a lot cheaper. So a great prepared food meals is a roast chicken, a baguette, and some green beans. That is way cheaper than ordering similar items from a restaurant. Same for sushi, same for pizza. Now, here's the exception. If you can afford it, please order in takeout, because we want the restaurants to be there when we emerge from this pandemic. We want to be there and ready to serve us. So you have to find a balance that is going to work for you within the money that you have.
1,000%. I've never felt better about ordering takeout than I do right now, because we are supporting these local businesses. So, of course, you need to shop with a list, right? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'm assuming, Tracy, you shop with a list. I'm assuming you shop with a list, and I'm assuming that when you arrive in the grocery store, if you haven't done this already, you're going to eyeball the flyer, even just the front page of the flyer, because you want to get a good sense for the door crashers. But what another thing for you to think about is the planning process, of course, because because we're shopping so much less frequency, we're definitely planning more. But what I would recommend you do at the shelf, if you don't do this already, is look at the unit prices, because sometimes we're drawn in by a big sale on an item that we knew we were going to buy anyway, and it turns out that on a unit price basis, we'd actually be better to buy a different size than the one that's on sale. So unit prices are the truth serum. They're the way that you can really tell whether you're getting a bargain or not.
That's a good tip. Absolutely. Okay, what about changing the way you save?
Make it a fixed expense. Make saving a fixed expense. So, your mortgage or your rent, that's fixed. Your utilities, that's fixed. It doesn't go up and down for the most part. Do savings the same way. So I want you to figure out the amount that you can save in a given month, and I want it to hurt a little, not a lot, but a little, and then set up an automatic contribution so that savings amount just comes out. There's nothing you can do. It just comes out. But have it be something that is the top of your priority list versus what most people do. And they're like, oh, I'll save what's left at the end of the month. It just doesn't work that way, because we spend what we have.
Absolutely. And for a lot of us at the end of the month, there's nothing left unless you categorize that right at the beginning and say this needs to go away. Now, I know that you have one more tip for us. What's your last tip?
Well, my last tip really is about reading a financial book, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I need to get a better handle on my money. Well, here's one thing that you could put into your schedule. Go to the library, order a book online, and read it. Just spend some time reading it over the course of the next couple of weeks or months. It could be David Chilton's Wealthy Barber Returns. It could be Preet Banerjee's How Not to Overthink Your Money. It could be Kelly Keene's Talk Money to Me. It could be one of my books, the Moolah Law series. But then you've just got a way to have a structured approach to thinking about it. The essence of all of this is spend less than you earn. That's the essence of it. But a book can be a way for you to kind of think things through and test some of the assumptions that you've made about money.
Yeah, they're pretty much the only nonfiction books I like are finance books, because I actually learn a ton from them. Why is it important to make these changes now, Bruce?
We are about to head into temptation overload. So we haven't been able to spend very much money in the last, year and a half. Soon we will be able to, and I want you to make these small changes now before it becomes very, very difficult. We're going to be out there in the world. There's going to be a ton of temptation. Right now, credit card debt is at the lowest level it has been at in 6 years. It's down 10% from a year ago. So I don't want to squander those gains. Yes, when things open up, we want to spend on restaurants, we want to spend at small businesses, but we also want to take advantage of the fact that a lot of people have been able to lower their debt levels. Insolvencies are low. Awesome. Keep up the good work, everybody, and use those small changes to make a bigger difference over time, because it's going to get tougher for good reason, right? We're finally going to be free again, but it's really important to not only get, but to keep a handle on your money.
Oh my goodness, music to my ears. We're going to be free again, but don't rely on your own sort of discipline and willpower. Make everything automatic. Make these changes now, and then we'll be a nation of savers. Imagine that. Bruce, thank you. So good. If you want a refresher on any of his tips, you can find them anytime on our website, cityline.tv. He's so good.